Alright, welcome to section 4.3 for Algebra A, solving systems of equations by elimination. So we've done graphing, we've done substitution. Now in this section we're going to do a third method called elimination. And what we're looking for in this particular section, if you see these two equations right here, you can see that the y variables are opposites. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for either the x's to be opposites or the y's to be opposites. And so when we have a set of equations like this, what we're going to do, if the signs are opposite, we're going to add these equations together. And you can see that's what it says here, add the equations to eliminate y. So we're just going to combine these two together. And 4x plus 2x will give us 6x. Because these y terms are opposite, they cancel out. And when we add these two numbers together, we get 30. Then we can divide both sides by 6, and we find out that x is 5. And once we know what x is, we can substitute that back into either equation. They just plugged it into the top one here. So 4 times 5 is 20. Add 20 to the other side, or excuse me, subtract 20 to the other side, and divide. And find out that y is equal to 8. And so our solution for this particular set of equations is 5, 8. So again, we are looking for either x or y to cancel out in our equations. And for our examples today in our notes and our examples on the homework, that will happen. We will have either x or y will be opposites. So we'll carry on here with a couple more examples. Okay, in example 2 here, or really the first example, you see that the x's are opposites, so we're going to go ahead and add again. If we add these together, these x terms will cancel out, and I end up with 2y equal to 6. Now I can divide both sides by 2, and y equals 3. Again, at this point, you have the option. We can plug 3 into the bottom equation or the top one. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the top one here, so you can see right there. That's where I plugged that 3 in, and we'll go ahead and change it to red so you can see where I plugged that 3 into the top equation. We'll minus 3 to the other side, it gives me 0, and then we'll divide. And if you take 0 and divide by 3, you still get x equal to 0. Just like our previous sections, once you're done and you have x and y, you want to go ahead and write that as an ordered pair. So in this case, 0, 3. Okay, if we look at these two equations, you can see that the x's are not opposites, but in this case, the y values are. So again, we'll go ahead and add these two equations together. 3x plus a negative x is going to be 2x. The y terms are opposites, so they cancel out. And 10 plus negative 6 is going to give me 4. I can go ahead and divide both sides by 2, and that will give me x equal to 2. And again, I have the option. I can plug it into the bottom equation or the top one. I plugged it into the top one for x. So 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract the 6 over. And then we divide here to solve for y. Y is negative 2. And again, our final step, write that ordered pair in xy coordinate form. Now, for all of these examples thus far, the y terms or the x terms have been opposite. On the next slide, we're going to talk about what happens if they are the same sign. So if you notice in this particular equation, you can see the two y's are the same. And so when two of the variable terms are the same, we are going to subtract. So notice here now, instead of a plus sign, we have a minus sign. So 4x minus negative 2. If we subtract the negative 2, we're really adding 2x. So 6x. 2y minus 2y, those are going to cancel. And again, if we subtract the negative 8, we're really adding 8. So 22 plus 8 is 30. From here, I can divide by 6, and x is 5. Again, you have the choice. You plug it in either equation. I just plugged it into the top one. So I replaced x with 5. So 4 times 5 was 20. Subtract 20 from both sides and divide. Final step again, write your answer as an ordered pair. So we're going to go ahead and do one more note example for today. You're going to see that it's going to be same sign again, so ultimately we're going to have to subtract. And so if you look here, the x's are the same. And as we learned on the last slide, if the variable terms are the same, we subtract instead of add. So 6x minus 6x, they cancel out. If I subtract a negative 1y, I'm really adding 1. So negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2y. Negative 14 minus negative 2, so negative 14 plus 2 is negative 12. We'll divide by negative 2, and that's going to give me positive 6 for y. I'm going to go ahead and plug that into this bottom equation. Again, you have the choice. I plugged it in the bottom one here. So 6x minus 6. Get that to the other side. We're going to add 6 and divide. And in this case, you get a fraction of 2/3. Or you can use the decimal 0.6 repeating. I just wrote it in fraction form here, but if you put 0.6 repeating, that's fine. So again, once you have x and y, always make sure that you write that answer as an ordered pair. So for every one of your elimination examples on today's homework, they'll either be opposite terms, where you have to add to cancel them, or they'll be the same terms like this one, where you have to subtract. All right, thanks.